know where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by betonline.ag. Hey there, Marcus Dash here from Chief Concerns. Just want to comment and say BetOnline is your #1 source for all your sports betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for football, baseball, boxing, golf, and much more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns, your Monday morning tight end show on Monday night. JD, how we doing, brother?
What's going on, man? What's going on? Seems like it's been a long week. Like we've been away from each other for about 2 weeks, huh?
I know. Yeah, we just see each other every day, so it's interesting when it's a bye week. And you know what? Our show is Wednesday, so yeah. Usually we have at least something in between from Wednesday to Monday. But yeah, I missed you. We did text those. We had that at least.
That's right. Yeah, we at least had that. It was good. No, it was good. How was your trip this weekend? I know you had went on a little excursion. How was it? It was good.
Yeah, I went to Atlanta for a wedding. The recommendation, the right phone booth, was fantastic. Great cigar bar, Speakeasy. Your friend hooked that up. It was a good time. So we did Atlanta. My first time really going to Atlanta, besides going to Atlanta as a connector flight. But yeah, did that. Wedding was good. Then Sunday morning, 'cause I want to get home to watch football. So we left really early Sunday. Oh man, JD, I'm never doing that again. As far as they're not going to drink a lot. Because on that flight the entire time, JD, I'm like, I was getting spins on the flight, and I was like, I do not want to throw up on an airplane. I'm not going to throw up on an airplane. I didn't, luckily, but I was just miserable. Got home, slept it off, and had the games on the background all day yesterday. But today I'm recovered, and I'm rested and ready to go.
Good, my brother. Man, I'm glad to hear it. So no episodes on the plane. Obviously we didn't even see you on the internet doing nothing crazy. I mean, it's one of those things that come on each and every week or every single day. Somebody's doing something crazy on the plane. But I'm glad it wasn't you.
Yeah. One of my friends, they gone to Charleston a couple of weeks ago, and they said on their flight back home, there was a whole medical emergency. Some dude was just blowing chunks all over the place, like the back of the airplane. They said the airplane smelled so bad, but they were already in flight, so they couldn't go back anymore. It was only like a 45-minute flight from Charleston to back to DC. And they said it smelled horrible in there because the guys threw up. And so I was like, and they just told me that story 2 days prior. And I'm like, please, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy.
Well, they still got the barf bags on there, don't they?
Apparently the guy just didn't do that, I guess. Yeah. And they had to move everybody who's around that area. They moved him up. There was enough seats in the flight where they can move everybody out of that area to go at different spots in the flight.
Okay. Still smell recirculated air and all that come on through.
Well, I asked that. I was like, you seen Stand By Me, right, JD? I asked, it was like, was there what were the reactionary throw ups from that? Like when one guy throws up and everybody throws up, and they were like, no, but people were definitely close to it just based on how badly it smelled. But yeah, so luckily I wasn't that guy on my flight back.
Well, good. I'm glad you went there with no incidents and you enjoyed yourself. Red phone booth, without a doubt. I would definitely tell everybody to have a chance to go see it. Speakeasy. You get the code to come in. It's a beautiful spot, man. A lot of different people are in there. So you run into any stars? Because usually it's where a lot of people kind of hang out at.
I don't think so. I wasn't. I was looking around. I was doing my kind of looking around different people. So I didn't. No one caught my eye or anything. But it wasn't really crowded at that point. We went in there because it was probably around I think we went, it was probably 9. So it was probably still early on in the night. So I'm sure as the night went on, I'm sure more people probably would have hit that up a little bit. But yeah,
Okay.
I didn't see any stars at that point in time, at least. So I'm sure there
You know,
were.
even if you do, you're just real cool, because just kind of give them the head nod, hey, what's up, just,
Yeah, I've gotten used to now that I'm on the show with UJD and meeting all these other Chiefs guys now. So it's like I've got to the point where like I'm not gonna be as starstruck before. I'm still starstruck, but like I've learned to master it in a way where I'm not like kind of like, oh man, like what do I say? Like
yeah, I got you. Just regular people, man. That's all it is. Just regular people.
Yep.
But good. I tell you what, man, the football, man, this past week, something I seen on TV, just sitting back and just watching some of this stuff. Some good games, some really good games.
Yep.
And not only just good games, but also too, great tale about where the thing is going, the NFL is going in both conferences. And so there was some upsets. There were some things that people didn't really think was going to happen, and we watched it. I watched a lot of melting down of fans. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and so there's a lot of questions. So the reason why I'm saying that is because we're sitting at 7-2 right now. The top, the AFC, where we are. I think we have no room. Shouldn't panic. There's nothing we should be worried about. And we understand why we are the defending champs.
Oh yeah.
We have a really, really good team. And we'll get into it. We'll get into like talking about the groups of, position groups. This is like just my grading that I've seen from the first half of the season. And so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give it to you raw. I'm gonna give it to you truthful. What I see. My opinion now. Okay, this is my opinion. When I do evaluation, when I'm coaching, I evaluate everybody. Doesn't matter what your number is, what your name is. I'm gonna evaluate technique and all those different things. So it should be a fun time tonight. Should be a fun time.
It's always nice to see where we are at comparatively to the rest of the league. As you mentioned yesterday, kind of a shit show for some of these teams everyone thought were world beaters. Baltimore being one, Cincinnati being another team. Everyone said, "Oh, it's the hottest team in the league," and then they get Houston Texans, baby. CJ Stroud is the real deal, man. He's gonna be something. A lot of people were trying to knock him during pre-draft stuff this year, or wasn't his links test? It was one of the other tests. They're trying to knock him for that being so low, but look, man, it doesn't matter. I mean, the guy's by far the best rookie quarterback, and he looks like one of the top quarterbacks in the league right now, let alone rookie. So, like, yeah, it was nice to see Cincinnati and Baltimore get a nice little reality check.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And I got CJ Stroud. I got him on my fantasy, and so I ended up picking him up. Who did I drop? I dropped, because I ended up got caught with Russell Wilson. And it was somebody else I got caught with, and I was just like, dang, Justin Fields. And I was just like, he's got to go. But that kid up there, man, he's doing some things up there in Chicago. Do you think it's going to be any quarterback controversy coming back? I don't think it will be, but you never know. You never know, man. When fans start seeing somebody winning games and, you become likable to everybody.
I think if you're a Bears fan and talking about value being low, if right, you're gonna have two potentially top 5 picks with the Panthers pick and your own pick, you got to at some point say, okay, we're probably gonna get quarterback, probably Caleb Williams, and then do you want to trade Justin Fields at a higher value than he is? Because right now you're not getting a first round for him. You're probably not gonna get a second rounder for him. Probably third, probably maybe like a package of third and a fifth or something like that. But you ain't getting a first or a second as of right now. Let's say they play him rest of the year and he shows what he showed off last year at the end of the season off. Then you could say, okay, another team can take you as a second round pick. That's another pick we get. And we have our first round pick to go splurge on Caleb Williams. So like, I think if fans are looking at it from that point of view, because I mean, if any fan thinks that Badgett is their future quarterback, then I don't know. As much as I'm rooting for a D2 Shepherdstown guy from out of West Virginia, I'd love to see that success story, but I don't think. I mean, if I'm a Bears fan, I want Fields to come back and actually look good so you can trade him.
Yeah, I do too. Sometimes it's unfortunate guys get hurt. Things do happen to guys. I think Justin Fields is a very talented quarterback. I really do. That's the question. Is he the quarterback for the future for them? But hey, I don't know. But that's Chicago's problem right now. Okay. That's Chicago's problem.
Yeah.
On the horizon, but we get ahead and get into these Chiefs a little bit, man.
Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Travis back in the States, by the way. He went to Argentina for the weekend. Had a good time with this girl. That was the kiss heard around the world with his kiss with Taylor Swift this past weekend. But for all those people who were upset that he was in Argentina, well, he's back in the States now. So that his bye week weekend vacation's over. Now he's back in the States. So hope that quelled everyone's nerves.
Why were they upset? Did they think that he was going to get stuck in Argentina or what? What was the problem?
I think like time zone issues and just like jet lag and just having to deal with different time zone stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Added travel. That was some of the things I saw from fans being pissed off about it.
Hey man, Travis he bounces back like a rubber band, man. Right? That's why I call him the rubber band man because he has those things where the ability, to get back on track when he needs to. But that's come on, that's not going to be an issue at all. So yeah, glad to see it, man. I got a little glimpse of it, I guess, of him, showing up at the thing. I'm one of those. I let people live. You know what I mean? So him having a good time is wonderful. I'm glad he had a great time. So
yeah, it's nice to see that. And Boyd Lockhart, love the show. Go Chiefs! Thanks, Boyd. Appreciate you, brother.
My man, Boyd Lockhart. Appreciate you.
All right. So for those of you guys tuning in for the show for the first time, so Monday is our day where JD breaks down grades, usually for the following day after the games. But obviously no game this past week, so JD's going to give us a kind of a cumulative kind of grade for the entire after all the 9 weeks so far. So 7-2 Chiefs are. So JD's going to go through each position group and tell you how he rates them so far through the season. And obviously it's midseason, so there's plenty of ball game left for this whole thing to play out. So if position groups have low grades, that can potentially flip to being an A by the end of the season, and hopefully that season ending in February with another ring. So, JD, where are we starting tonight? We starting on offense again?
Yes, we are. We're going to start on offense. And so I'm going to start, and I've always said this, from where I look at probably the best group on the offensive side. We started talking about them before with Travis Kelce. We're just going to start with my boys, my group, tight ends, okay? So we're going to start with the tight ends, the TEs, the jack of all trades, master of many things, getting the job done. And for me, this is probably one of the most consistent groups on the team. From what I see, my assessment of just watching the very first half of the season. And to be honest with you, just watching Travis Kelce, the thing he has been doing over this year, of course, surpassing my boy TG with the all-time receiving yards. So hats off to him, to Travis, for accomplishing that. That's a huge feat. And I like to say, look, the Kansas City Chiefs have had the best tight ends in the entire NFL in the history of the game. Period, bar none. People can bring other people's names up and talk about them all the time. Gronk, Shannon Sharp. Who else they name? There's another guy that Gates,
Kellen Winslow Sr.
Kevin Winslow Sr., right? And those things. Look, in my estimation, Tony Gonzalez, Travis Kelce, the best tight ends ever, okay, to play the game. Until anybody else comes up and do what they did, and I'm talking about just not productivity, but longevity, durability. And I'm talking about changing the game, okay, at their position. Tony and Travis have been the best in the history of the game, okay? And the numbers bear it out. You look at what they've been able to do, and so Travis surpassing Tony, man, was a big deal. So I had to give him my head nod to that. But Travis has been spectacular this entire first half of the season. He really has. He's been almost unstoppable. And so we've seen, of course, from Miami, what they had to do. They had to double and triple team Travis to even try to stop him. And even then, when they that was the master plan. The game plan was to try to stop Travis. How do you do it? Well, the thing is, you had to double and triple team him. Okay, that's the formula. But when you do that, other guys got to get involved. But another thing that Travis gives to the game is Travis blocks guys. I see him in the backfield blocking guys. I see him down the field blocking for his brothers out there. And so he does a superb job of just blocking guys. And I would even attest and say he's probably gotten a lot better. Even with the production in the passing game, he's just becoming that more formidable of a blocker. But also, too, man, I'm going to talk about not just Travis Kelce, what he's been doing out there. We know he's the best tight end in the NFL right now, but we're going to go and talk about Noah Gray, okay? Noah Gray, who has 18 receptions in the 9 games, he has been a pivotal part of what we've been doing offensively. And even if people want to say conservatively what we've been doing offensively, Noah Gray has just been showing up week in and week out. And so he's been doing a phenomenal job in that second tight end role on the team. And I'm talking about just being a clutch player, catching footballs, clutch player blocking defensive ends and linebackers. And he's just been doing a tremendous job. I would love to see Noah Gray doing a lot more, plays in the red zone. I think that's where some of our Achilles heel has been. Some of our woes has been. Noah Gray would probably be part of that answer what we need to do the second half of the season to get him involved in the red zone and the short yardage as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Blake Bell has been decent with his blocking when he's come in. He's been doing a good job, getting his face in there, actually hitting guys. So my tight end group, I give these guys really a B+ to an A. Okay. All right. I know everybody, oh man, with JD, I don't want to give him an A. I got it. Let's give them a B+ for everything they've been doing. All right. But that's my boys, man. They've been doing a tremendous job. And so that's where I look at the tight ends right now. So
yeah, the tight ends account for 6 receiving touchdowns on the season.
6 receiving touchdowns. That's huge. That's huge. And here's the thing, though. I'm just looking at that. Noah Gray in the 9 games, he has more receptions than 4 wide receivers.
Yeah, he's fifth on the team in catches.
Yeah. So the thing is, man, when we looking at him, the things he's just been doing out there has just been phenomenal. So the whole group in itself, B+. Okay. Anything you want to add, Marcus?
Honestly, yeah, I think it's week in and week out, whether it's Kelce or Noah Gray making a clutch catch. I think it's by far the most consistent group on offense for us. Obviously, Mahomes is Mahomes, but I think consistently from a top to bottom on a whole position group, yeah. I think they are the most consistent group. Gray's been amazing. I don't know if some fans think he's going to be the heir apparent of Travis Kelce. I don't think he'll ever replace productivity that Kelce has given us. I just don't think he has the same kind of wiggle that Kelce had, the same kind of juice. But Noah Gray's been admirable for what he's given us this year overall. So yeah, I think B+. I could even say A-. A-. That's
a good one. Yeah, A-. Yeah, definitely. So that round, I just didn't want everybody to be like, oh man, you know what? You playing your favorites, give them the tight ends an A. Well, they've earned it. They've earned it from what they've been playing out there. These guys have been doing a tremendous job. Yeah. So.
And then off the field too. We're not factoring the off the field a bit too. I mean, this guy's dealing with a freaking worldwide superstar, and he's still putting up numbers on the field. So I mean, you got to give credit for that too.
Yeah, but we talk this on the field stuff. We don't want to talk about off the field. Hey, like I said, I let them guys enjoy their time. All right, and I want Travis his life to be his life. And what he does in his time, man, it's all about him. He's having a great time with it with Taylor Swift. And I really appreciate having the more Chiefs fans coming in because of Taylor Swift. That's a beautiful thing in itself, right?
That's true.
So yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah. So now I'm gonna go to our QB. Okay, I wasn't gonna go there, but actually I'm gonna go there with it. Okay, go with a quarterback. Now, mind you, okay. Now I really grade this position really, really hard. Okay, and because of who he is, what he's accomplished, what I know his potential is, and I know what his standard has been in the past. So I don't think that will change. I'm gonna be completely honest in my assessment of what I've seen from PM15. I'm a huge PM15 fan, and so with saying that thing, I'm like I said, I'm gonna grade him pretty hard. But as far as the stats go, right now he's right on pace for having a pretty good year. He really is. And I was just looking at all the numbers. What he's done in the past. He's doing exactly almost the same thing as far as like passing yards, completion percentage is up. Obviously, because maybe the lack of maybe the throws that he's making, some of the things that decisions he's making. But he's having a pretty phenomenal year. I love that about PM15. Now, what I will say is this. How the offense goes, how PM15 goes. The offense is always going to run through PM15. Okay. And so when we look at some of the things that's been happening offensively in the passing game, some of these things do definitely lie on his shoulders. Okay. One of the stats that kind of stood out to me, too, is interceptions and fumbles. Okay. And Patrick Mahomes, what he's showing right now, just interception wise, is pretty far up there. I think he's sitting at 8. I think it's what I have down right now, and which kind of had at the first half of the year. And so part of it is decision making, but a part of it is also too what defenses are actually showing him. Okay, defenses are really telling Patrick Mahomes, "I dare you run the football." Okay, or I dare you check the ball down. And so Patrick just needs to go ahead and take what the defense is giving him. That's what he really needs to do. We know that, he likes to hold the ball in his hand a lot longer than other quarterbacks because he does a great thing with his legs, extending plays. We understand that he's probably one of the best in the game to do that. Most underrated runner as a quarterback in the NFL right now. But I think his some of his struggle, like in the red zone and in the short yardage, it's got to change the second half. It has to change. And we're talking about going deep in the playoffs, being a championship team like we are. We need to turn some of those stats around. Okay, and all of that has to run through PM15. So right now, I'm giving PM15. I'm giving it a C+. That's what I'm giving it. And so, like I said, based off of what I know about him, what his standard is, and I know he can play a whole lot better because he just has that extra gear of what he is, right? That we're talking about an elite person at his position, the best in the NFL. Him having a C+ right now, I know he can do better. Okay, so C+, B-. We could fall into that lane if you want to, but PM15 knows. Patrick knows he's got to have a better second half to win the Super Bowl, and I think he will, no doubt about it. I think if anybody went to work about these things, just kind of he was able to kind of just recharge his batteries, relax a little bit. PM15 is the guy that's doing that. I'm sure that for him, there is no relaxation. He can't relax. Okay, he got one of the toughest positions in the NFL now because he's the face of the NFL. We understand those things that Patrick is definitely sitting there impressing himself to get better. So, yeah. So, Lenny Dawson, C+. Mahomes can't catch his own passes. You're absolutely right. He cannot catch his own passes. One thing he can do is he can facilitate the passes going to the other guys out here. That's one thing he can do. He can get better at it. And so part of the C+ has been the decision making. It really has. He has missed some wide open receivers. There's some things that some plays that he might have been because of the lack of trust. And here's the thing. Because the lack of trust that he has in receivers, sometimes you just got to give these guys an opportunity. The trust has to go through him. Sometimes these guys are like, look, these guys going to sink or swim. So I got to give him an opportunity to make plays. If he's not doing that, then that's on him. So, like I said, everything runs through PM15, no question about it. You talk about what plays are being ran, who's calling it. He's the one in the huddle making those plays. He's the one making those decisions. And so Patrick knows he's got to get better. He just said it time in and time out through the whole first half of the season. And he knows when he doesn't play well. He knows sometimes when he should have probably taken, a check down or just over the ball as opposed to going for the deep route. But no doubt about it, I definitely do believe that, the wide receivers are, without a doubt, do have a big part in what's going on. So, but sometimes he could just rely on Travis Kelce way too much. And so when you take that option away from what Miami did, they was just like, look, we ain't gonna let this guy beat us. We are not gonna let him beat us. So this is where we at. This is my estimation. Patrick Mahomes with a C+, B-, but he'll get better. There's no doubt about it. So.
Yeah, I agree, because we're basing Patrick Mahomes on a scale of being one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So, like, the numbers that he has this year, I mean, just looking at briefly, so 5th in passing yards, 4th in passing, tied for 4th in passing touchdowns, 4th in rushing yards for quarterbacks, which I thought was pretty interesting. He has more rushing yards than Josh Allen does in the season, which is crazy because everyone said that Josh Allen was one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the league. But yeah, when you're looking at it based on who Patrick Mahomes is, not just overall, because overall this would be a career year for a lot of quarterbacks, but based on the guy we're talking about, I do think C+, B- is kind of the range where he is so far this year, because he could be a lot better because that's how good he is. So like the grading here is like more so we know what he's capable of, and yeah, he can't catch his own passes, right? But I mean, I think there are ways that he can not try to go deep and just take what the defense is giving him, because like you said, and like a lot of people are pointing out, there are a lot of things that are open underneath. He's just not taking more, so that he can just take what defenses are giving him to him. And I think bye week, the little reset, the Andy Reid the grace period of a reset, and to make adjustments during this bye week, I think it's going to be pay off dividends for this offense, specifically Patrick Mahomes. So yeah, I think right now, C+, B-. I think that's right on par where I think he is right now.
Yeah,
and he probably grade himself even lower than that. Honestly, knowing the way Patrick is about himself, he probably grade himself lower than that.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I'm trying to be fair to him. Look, and like you said, he knows, because what his standard is, he's expecting the best. He wants the best performance coming out of himself. For everybody else, he understands. Hey, look, even if these guys may not be getting open, or let's just say they they're blanketed, he can still make throws and get the ball in there, right? We know that, but there's things he can possibly do, and so part of that is where he is scrambling, getting a lot of yards, is because they are dropping 7 and 8, okay, in coverage, right? So they're turning it back to Patrick Mahomes, so Patrick can just go ahead and take off. He can just go ahead and just do that, right? So they're giving him the complete carte blanche to take off and just run, okay? He has that. And so that's why he's been so effective with his legs this past season. So, but like I said, that'll get a whole lot better, man. But defenses understand that's the way you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to drop 7, 8 against the Chiefs to try to eliminate what Patrick Mahomes does well, and that's with his arms, right? That's where he hurts you, okay? So with that going on, we're going to move on to, obviously, the wide receivers, okay, of the group, okay? Wide receiver grade. Now, Patrick Mahomes can't catch his own passes. And I'm going to just go on through these guys. MVS, through 9 games, has 14 receptions for 9 games. Best year with Kansas City was 42 last year. The thing with MVS, man, we knew what we would get with him. Like, we knew what we were getting from Green Bay and MVS. Okay? It wasn't like he was going to catch a whole volume of balls. We wouldn't expect him to catch 60 to 80 balls a year. If we thought that, then we were fooling ourselves. We really were. And so we're supposed to be the deep threat in Green Bay, where that's what we seen his entire career up there. That's what it was. And so my thing is, why aren't we doing enough here? Why aren't we doing more throwing the deep balls with MVS here? Now, he's been playing a lot of the snaps. He really has. But the production is not there. It just isn't. And there's a lot of reasons in that. Okay? There's a lot of reasons in that. So one of it could be offensively, some of the routes that we have him running. Okay? Some of the routes that he's running may not be as crisp, getting open, and we're not really giving him no deep routes. He's not setting guys up at the top of the route. He's not doing those things to get open, and he needs to do those things. But like I said, MVS is what we knew what we was getting. But I do believe that MVS is a guy that has He has value in our offense. Okay. We just need to start utilizing some of that value. We want to start pushing some balls down the field. Our deep route runner shouldn't be Justin Watson. It should be MVS. Okay. So, yeah, Lenny, MVS is not, he's not stretching the field. He is not. So the thing is, we got to make calls. We got to call those things to do that. We got to do that. So, yeah, MVS does seem like it. And so it's a whole different scheme, King Mo. No doubt about it. It's a scheme. That's what it is. And so that's what I was talking about. When you have an offense and you're trying to make sure you fit these pieces in your scheme, well, let's make sure that we accentuate what this guy does well. And we know that. He's supposed to stretch he's supposed to stretch the defense. That's what he's supposed to do, take the top off of it. So, but that's MVS. Next guy I'm going to KT. Okay, Kadarius Toney. 20 receptions, 9 games. Look, we've seen spurts of greatness for him. Okay, we know he's an athletic guy. He runs great routes. He runs pretty hard. He steps on guys' toes. But he's more than just a gadget guy. And so sometimes I think he's been hurt in our rotation of what we're trying to do offensively, that he becomes non-existent in some games, which to me, we were talking about him being the number 1 wide receiver this year. That's what we were talking about, right? But now we regulated him to being catching screens and maybe a couple of slants. He could do a lot more, okay? He's the guy we need to figure out. But 20 receptions, man, in the 9 games is just not enough. That's not enough touches for Kadarius Toney, okay? He has to be one of our guys that we have to get the ball to, without a doubt. So we need to change that up. Next guy, I'm going to Rashid Rice, okay? 32 receptions, 4 touchdowns. He is our number 1 receiver. This is a bright spot in the wide receiver group that I didn't see coming, but he has emerged as the number 1 wide receiver. We've seen what he can do, and rightfully so. We should get him the ball. He's got 4 TDs, 4 tubs, and the guy's just getting better week in and week out. Now, his blocking needs to get better, right? That's something that needs to be desired a little bit more on him. But I think he'll get those things rectified. But he's a guy that we definitely need to get the football. We need to throw some back shoulder passes, some fade routes to him. We need to find out exactly what Rashid Rice can do in our offense. We need to throw some balls up to him too, okay? Some deep digs, some deep comebacks, whatever it may be. But he is electrifying on the offensive side of the ball in the wide receiver group. He's our number 1 wide receiver, and there's no reason why he shouldn't be right now. He's shown everything he needs to do. He can handle whatever he needs to handle, but he is our guy, okay? And we need to make sure that we get him out there a little bit more than what we've been doing, okay? Next guy, Sky Moore, okay? Sky Moore, 16 receptions, 9 games. He has the ability. We know probably more so from the slot. He's a guy that needs to get lost in zone, okay? I don't know if he should be outside as much as he is, but I think his game is more so, in the short areas of the field. Okay, like I said, finding those holes in the defense. But I just Sky Moore, his development, he's the guy that we need to be more patient with. I think Sky Moore, because what he showed last year, where he's at now, he has gotten better. But he may be a three-year guy that we had to look at, projecting to be that guy getting better. So that's why I sit with him, Sky Moore. I think Sky Moore has a lot of ability. I do. I think he can run some routes, maybe some double moves. KT can do the same thing with that as well. So we got to get him involved a little bit more than what we have. I know everybody's kind of jumped, on him a lot this season. We're expecting a lot from Sky. But I think he's one of those guys that you had to say, hey, look, maybe he's a 3-year project. Maybe he is, okay? Especially if you're not throwing a football to him and you just give him routes to get open. So I don't see a lot of double moves like that. But Sky's a guy I think can get more than what he has been given. And so that's where I'm at with him. Justin Watson has 14 receptions in 8 games. He stepped up because nobody else has. And it's almost sad to say because You were expecting, we signed Justin Watson as almost like he was supposed to reinforce our wide receiver room, okay? And he's come out to be one of our top wide receivers on the team, which is good for him. It's great for him. Matter of fact, I love seeing it because he has that grit and determination to make things happen. He wants to do well. And so when you have a guy like that who's going to work hard, try to do all the right things, you got to reward him. But he's talent-wise, he's probably our 4th, 5th talented wide receiver. I mean, he is. And so I don't know if it's just where, yeah, we could look and say we're not trusting guys, but a lot of it comes to what is happening in practice. Why are we not trusting the guys? Why are guys not getting open? There's some deep balls also, too, that Justin is running. He's just thinking about running some guys, but he needs to steer him on guys to get open, too. He needs to run more crisp routes. But Justin Watson, hey, man, keep doing your thing. Keep doing it, okay? I love to see more out of him, all right? Because if other guys ain't stepping up, you keep doing your thing, man. So I just like Justin Watson, man, for what he's been giving us. And so if ain't nobody else going to take it over, let him do it. Let him do it. But some other guys need to step up besides him. Last guy I'm going to talk about is McCole Hardman, okay? When we brought him back, I thought he was going to be the guy that we needed to kind of get this offense going. We've been very conservative with McCole Hardman since he gotten here. And I guess he's just trying to get him acclimated back into all these different things. He knows the offense. We understand who McCole Hardman is, what he can give. We need to let him do that, okay? He's got a lot of speed, a lot of ability. He can take the top off the defense. We need to start throwing some balls to him as well, okay? Deep digs and all those different things. I know a lot of people didn't like him coming back, but to me, look, I like McCole Hardman. I like McCole. And so I think he could give a lot in the receiving game, but also, too, in the return game. And so we need to start doing some things in the return game. And I've talked about special teams. We do a much better job, okay? So that whole group, I gave them their grade. I've given them halfway point is a C. I'm going to give them a C, okay? A lot of that because of the balance is Rashid Rice, the emergence of him doing so well, and there's other guys not stepping up, but also, too, the second half of these last few games, guys been showing up. Sky Moore, MVS has been showing a little more than what they had the first half of the year, right? So that bumps their grade up. So I gave them a C, right? I was going to be real tough on these guys, but I'm just like, look, we got to get behind these guys. This is what we have. Now it's in their court. The ball is in their court for them to be better the second half, okay? We talked about how the defense and the DBs were supposed to get better. We watched them get better. The second half of the season, I'm looking for the same thing for the wide receivers this year to do that, okay? But it's going to have to be on Nagy and Andy, man, to get the ball to him. And on PM15 to get the ball to him. Trust these guys. Throw the ball to them. Let them do some things with the ball. And there's been times where, throw some balls. Yeah, Sky didn't want to catch one over the shoulder. Same thing. MVS didn't go up, high point the ball. Justin Watson, he lost a couple things. But these other guys, Kadarius Toney, McCole Hardman, Rashid Rice, all these guys can eat. All these guys can eat, man. Lean on them guys, okay?
I agree with your assessment. I think some people on here are happy probably that you graded this receivers lower than Mahomes, just to balance it out a little bit. Because a lot of people think that his low grade should be stemming from the receivers not doing their jobs, right? But I will say second half of the season, I want to see more, obviously rookie, but I want to see more Rashid Rice. First half of the season, they were trying to get him acclimated to, Andy's playbook, NFL speed. But I want to see more Rashid Rice. I think he's earned what he's been doing so far. But then also got to say Kadarius Toney. Let's get him more snaps. Let's treat him like we thought he was going to be the wide receiver one, like we did in the offseason. Let's get him more love. Marty, you must have hopped on late, buddy. JD went over Justin Watson's role and his pivotal role so far this year.
I'm going to ask my boy Marcus, man. Who's your top three at the position right now? So my top three at the position has to be Kadarius Toney, Rashid Rice, and I would have to say either McCole Hardman or MVS. That's what I'm looking at, okay? Sky and them guys got to fit in where they fit in at, man. But for me, when I'm talking about ability. And here's the thing about McCole Hardman. I'm going to talk about McCole Hardman for a second, okay? And everybody keep forgetting about him. But McCole Hardman was having a good season before he got hurt. He was having a legit season before he had gotten hurt. Played in 8 games, man. And sometimes we just forget what a guy's done, okay? Because it is one of those what have you done for me lately type of leagues. And I get that. I understand that. But we also can't forget what this guy has done, okay? He's a young guy. He's got a lot of ability. We ain't talking about somebody who's 30-something years old and, 10, 11 years in the league. We don't know if we could give anything. But, McCole Hardman does have ability, okay? He can go hit his head on the goalpost. We need to get him a ball. But definitely Rashid Rice, Kadarius Toney, McCole Hardman has to see some, all right? Justin Watson, MBS, and those guys, right? Everybody else got to filter in where they can, okay? But the guys that got the talent and ability to do things, we need to get the ball to them, all right? Now I'm going to go to the run RBs, okay? RBs. Isaiah Pacheco, I mean, he's a throwback. This is the type of guy we needed on the Chiefs. He runs hard. He's all heart. He's all grit. He's all attitude. I love everything about Isaiah Pacheco. Okay. He's gotten better in the passing game. Still needs to get a little bit better to trust him in the pass protection game, the pass blocking game. But he'll get those things done. You can tell he got all over himself. He's emerged as one of the bright spots on offense, and we need to feed him the football. We need to run the ball more than what we've been running the football with him. And we know the more you give him, the better off he's going to be. The more better he's going to get going. And we could see the games that he didn't get enough carries that he needed and deserved. It was a low on like what we did offensively, right? And it was glaring. It was absolutely glaring. So third down, we need to pound the rock. Let's give Pacheco the ball on 3rd and 1. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna petition for Pacheco to get the ball on 3rd and 1 each and every time. Okay. Until you show he can't do it. All right. Or right there in the red zone. I think we need to run the football while we're in the red zone as well. Okay. We're not doing enough of that either. Isaiah Pacheco has that churning, his legs. He will get those things moving, and the guys up front want to block for him. Okay. So he's been doing a tremendous job. Isaiah Pacheco, man, is man, to me, man, as a baller, has been a baller. Love everything about it. Jerick McKinnon, same thing. Where has he been? And here's the thing about it. He's another guy that we need to get the football to. He's another guy. Okay. Jerick McKinnon has so many great facets to his game, and we're not utilizing them. And so, look, Marcus, you already know I don't buy into the whole saving a guy to the end of the season or the playoffs and all. I don't buy into that. Okay. I think that's just a cop-out. That's an easy excuse. You got to go and say, oh, well, he's not getting love because we want to save him. No, I think it's a failure, okay, of whoever's calling the plays. I don't care who it is, all right, not getting this guy involved because we know he's a weapon. We need to do that. And so if we're struggling in one part of the game, Jerick McKinnon can line up wide as a wide receiver. He can line up in the slot. There's everything he can do. He can block, catch, run the football. He's got it all. And so I think we need to rely on him a little bit more. So hopefully the second half, okay, we're talking about safety. This is the time we need to start showcasing what Jerick McKinnon can do. All right? Wait is over. Wait is over. We need to start showing that, man. He's hungry. Let's get him to rock. All right? Let's get him to rock. CEH, okay. Well, CEH, he's caught up in the wash, right? I mean, he's got guys in front of him. And so that's the thing about it. Every time he gets a chance opportunity, he's going 2 or 3 yards and everybody hates on him because, why is CEH in the game? Why is he getting reps? All right. But I think he gives us a nice little change of pace. I really do. I think he's a nice change of pace. I'm always looking for CEH to do something well with the limited reps that he gets. I just want him to break one out, man. Just hush all the naysayers. But look, man, hey, CEH, man, he's just waiting his time. That's what he's buying his time. So, if we get something out of him, then I'm all here for it. But for my guys, but the running backs, I give these guys to be. That's what they got. They got the running backs got to be. Okay.
I agree with your grades again. I think we need to see more Pacheco, I think there's still too many times where we end the game with him having like 12 carries or 13 carries. And I get it. We have a committee, but it's not like we're hanging the ball off to make it in 3 times a game. It's just we're not running the ball enough. I do want to see more Pacheco, and hopefully, let's say you do come out and you surprise the defense or you run the ball 20 times with Pacheco. That's going to throw off the opposing DCs so hard. Running the ball 20 times, the Chiefs don't do that anymore. Do that, I think you could open up some of the passing lanes for Mahomes to do his thing out there. But I mean, I just think that it'll make everything easier for everybody. And also, like you always talk about, the O-line wants they want that. They want to be able to road grade dudes. Let them freaking let them do their thing. Let them get their hands on these other dudes and drive to the ground and then open it up for everybody.
What we always talked about, and we use the word cutesy. They get cute on certain downs, right? And people, it puts a bad taste in everybody's mouth. I don't think we're aggressive enough. We need to be more aggressive in the red zone and in short yardage, okay? And so part of being aggressive is running the football down people's throats, bar none. That opens up the passing game, right? It helps everything. Everything opens up after that, okay? When you have an effective running game, it opens up everything in the passing game and whatnot, short yardage and red zone. So we just need to be more aggressive. I want to see a more aggressive play calling the second half of the season. We need to see that, okay? And we need to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers, namely our running backs, right? Namely our running backs. So I'll go to our O-line real quick. O-line, all right? These guys have it's been up and down, okay, with a lot of different things. There's a lot of talk about with the O-line. Very consistent at times. They do a good job of being aggressive. They fundamentally, I think they're very sound in what they do. They give good pockets to Patrick. What they need to develop now is a longer clock in their head, okay? Because Patrick holds the ball a little bit longer. And so I've always said, linemen understand that it's a long 4 count and maybe even 5. We need to develop a 5 to almost 6 count in our heads blocking for Patrick when we know it's pass protection. You need to get back in your kickback. So I think part of the problem with some of the turnovers or some of the pressures have been that where we just haven't been sustaining our blocks past the 4.5, 5 second mark. Okay. And guys have been coming off at the end, and it almost looks like guys standing around and watching them, get on Patrick. And these even some of the guys where it's only 3-man rushing, okay, which is tough. I mean, sometimes you got 3-man rushers, you got to go ahead and I'm gonna take some ribs, pound drive some guys on the ground. I mean, you need to wear those guys out when you have a chance to, okay? And that's what our offensive line has to do. But Thuney, Donovan Smith, Juwan Taylor, Trey Smith, Creed, those guys up front has been doing a good job. I like what they've been doing in the running game. I think we need to get more opportunities. Andy said it himself. He owes the offensive line 1, okay? And I would say he owns them maybe 2 or 3, to be honest with you, because short yardage, we haven't really been calling on them to get it done. They've been pass protection more than anything else, or coming off like it's play action, and I hate it for them. I absolutely hate it for them. As a guy who came off hitting guys in the mouth for a living, to me, I hate seeing some of the plays that we call on third down. It kills me. Absolutely kills me. Okay? And I know they pissed off watching them on the sideline when the things don't work well, right? So those guys, man, they've been doing a tremendous job. They've been doing a job. The penalties been hurting us where we've been getting in 3rd and long. Those things we need to change. We need to change that, some of the penalties. The holding, false starts, all those different things. Juwan Taylor has shored up, obviously his alignment from the first of the season, the debacle of what that was. But now our offensive line's got to get better with the TE stunts. They got to get better with the wraparound. They got to do better passing guys off when they are doing the stunts, okay? And we're not doing a very good job of it. I would say that's probably a weak point right now, just going over the film or watching these guys. And I just can't understand how they're not talking enough to let them know if guys going in or out. Like, you should be able to know that. And part of it is kind of where you're on different levels with each other. There's still got to be some type of continuity to guys of knowing where guys are defensively. So we got to do a much better job of that. But I gave our guys on the offensive line, I'm going to give them a B. I gave them a B, man. Okay. They're really hard to grade because, all five got to be on the same page. I mean, it's, when you orchestrate it, they're the one group that has to be on the same page each and every time. Okay. That's a very tough thing to do. They do a decent job of it, but I give them a B, maybe a B minus is where I'm at. B minus. Okay. But they can get better. They can get better. Okay. I think right now they're one of the top offensive lines in the league. And so we got to understand that for what they give, what they've been doing out there, the Chiefs are definitely one of the top of the pack. Okay. So.
Yeah, I agree with your assessment there. I will say one thing that I do love from the O-line. I'm just going to point out one guy, Juwan Taylor. Took a lot of crap and a lot of scrutiny to start the season out. You could say he was cherry-picked by the NFL with the whole his alignment and the whole, jumping off sides or false starting. He fixed all that. And you said these are easy fixes, and he fixed all that. It wasn't like an ongoing problem. He fixed all of it. Yeah, the NFL may have pinpointed him, but yeah, he was targeted, sure. But he fixed all that stuff. We don't even hear about it anymore. And that was it honestly feels like so long ago, weeks 1 through 3, where that was such a big deal. I didn't talk about it anymore. That seems like it was a last year thing, and it was really only like 6 weeks ago. But yeah, I gotta give him credit for fixing the issues that he was getting called out on. So yeah, I do agree. O-line across the board, especially with 2 new to starters on both sides. I think they've meshed really well.
Yeah, and ARG and KC, man. It's used for 6 seconds is long. It is a long time. It is a long time, and so. That's what I'm saying. In your head, you almost have to, retrain yourself, okay? That it's like more of a 5 to 5.5 second, okay? 6 is long, but 4 is, quick game. We got to do much quicker passes. I agree with you on that. But that goes from Patrick not holding the ball in his hand, right? We talked about that earlier. And so Patrick's who's looking for the deep passes or some of these, he just needs to get the ball out of his hand early, okay? Whether it be to the flat, to the back, to McKinnon, to Pacheco, whoever it may be that's in the flat, or that quick little comeback, or that sit route. Ball needs to come out right now, okay? And like I said, you'll never go broke taking a profit. So you need to just take those little profits to all of a sudden where now the defense starts saying, okay, they're going to start hitting it short. Now it opens up the deep passes, okay? And so the mid-round range routes will start opening up. So let's go to the defensive side of the ball. So offensively, man, there's some things we had to talk about. And I took a long time on the defensive side of the ball or the offensive side, because that's where the majority of our problems lie, is the offensive side of the ball, okay? But we go to the defensive side of the ball, okay? Now, this group I'm gonna start with our defensive line, okay? These guys, man, have been a breath of fresh air. I think we're 3rd in sacks in the NFL. And the thing is, we've had everybody in the sack. Everybody, it seemed like everybody on the defensive side of the football seemed like they got in the sack. We're sitting over with George Kalofka sitting down with 6 sacks, Chris Jones with 5, Dana with 5, Menahu 1.5. Wharton's had 1. So, and everybody's got, half a sack here and there. So our D-line has been doing a tremendous job getting after the quarterbacks, pressuring the guys. Thank you for Charles Menahu coming back, because it just gave us a little bit more firepower, okay, than what we already had. But these guys have been playing solid, and we know that everything starts up front, okay? And so the more that we can get that penetration, more of that pressures, more of just coming and clawing after the quarterback, the better off we're going to be. We understand the formula too. Teams are sitting there saying, Chris Jones is not going to beat us, okay? And I don't care if he's outside, we're going to double team him. If he's inside, we're going to double team him. If he goes to the other side, we're going to double and triple team him. So that leaves everybody up one-on-one. So the other guys got to eat. They got to perform. When you got one-on-one on your side, you know it. Now it's time for you to shine. You have to shine at, okay? The thing is, Chiefs are 2nd in NFL sacks. Thank you, Lenny. Appreciate it. I thought they were third. So they're second in sacks in the NFL. But the thing is, these guys have been doing a tremendous job. Same thing. We need to get a little bit more out of Nandi, Warrington, Herring. Those guys need to step up a little bit more. Okay. So don't get left. Don't get left. But these guys have been doing a good job. I need to see a little bit more of just the quick hands, fighting a little bit more. Curious George, man. Hey, man, use the techniques Tom showed you. King Felix, same thing. When you get in, you get a chance. I know you're not getting a whole lot of snaps, but we just need to see a little bit more from those other guys, from the ones I didn't name. And so if you weren't up on the top of getting some sacks, time for you to show up the second half, okay? We need more out of you, Nandi. We need more out of you, Nandi. Warrington, we need some more out of you. Because we need to be able to trust guys in the rotation. And so we talk about wide receiver rotation. It's the same thing with D-line rotation. We got to be able to trust them. All right? We can't have a dip in talent when these guys need to take breaks. Okay? You need to be formidable when you're out there. Okay? You got to make a difference when you're out there. Okay? So we need to see that more at the D-line. But I gave the D-line right now, I gave them a B. That's why I gave the D-line right now a B. Okay? B minus. All right? B minus. The thing is, for our defense to be as good as they are, our D-line's got to be dynamic. Okay? It all starts up front. I've said it before. It all starts up front. But any thoughts? Anybody? What do you think?
I think, I don't know if anybody has any comments on it in the chat, but yeah, I think it's solid, pretty a B right there. I mean, we didn't play week one without our guy in the middle and Chris. We didn't have Omenahu until a couple of weeks ago, so we still haven't seen a consistent of the same guys for the last. We've only had it for all these guys together for like 2-3 weeks. So I want to see these guys. I think they end the season together. Specifically looking at Omenahu and Chris Jones. Also, I want to see King Felix. Remember last year, Karlofsky came on at the end of the season, the last 4 weeks. I think that's going to be the pivotal spot where we'll actually see King Felix's growth from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. I mean, yeah, he's been in there too as far as getting pressures, but be able to finish and getting a sack. I look forward to seeing that towards the end of the season. In the next few weeks here, you're going to kind of see more of an emergence of him to end the season. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all these guys together.
I hope so too. I do. And the thing that would be a wonderful surprise if he's able to give that, right? At some point, man, you just got to let yourself go. Sometimes you just got to let yourself fly. And I don't know who needs to tell him this, but somebody needs to say, hey, man, look, hey, just release yourself. Just go. Don't hesitate. Don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. Just go. That's your one job. Primary job is go get the quarterback, go get the football. And I need to see you rallying into the ball like you did when you was in college, okay? So those things is very important to do. So yeah, okay, I don't hear Menu's name enough. Hopefully he will make an impact. I see him on film making plays. And they kind of talk about it, but you could tell his presence is being felt out there. And to be honest with you, the way he presses, tackles back, guards back, he's a difference maker on our defense. Where that might not be George Kalafdis' strong suit because he's just a smaller guy. You could tell Omenahu in his length and his veteran presence, what he does out there on the defense. And it's good to have him and Chris Jones in at the same time, man. That's a hell of a combination. I love seeing that. That's a hell of a combination. So we keep them guys healthy, man. They're going to be doing some damage, okay? Doing some damage. So that moves me already back. Let's go back to the second part of this. Linebackers. Oh, LBs, okay? It's my LBs. It's my guys, man. Guys, the headbangers you go against every single day. I love those dudes. One of the most bright sparks that we see, at least for me, and I want to talk about this guy first, is Leo Chanel, okay? Leo Chanel, to me, has been one of those kind of quiet storm guys, young stars emerging on this in this defense, this young defense. And I'm talking about he's solid in his assignment, his lateral movement, what gap assignment where he needs to be, focusing on his vision and making plays. He's doing a much better job than I expected. And so we could talk, we could rave about Willie Gay, Drew Tranquil, Nick Bolton, right? We could rave about those guys. Luke Chanel is a guy to me that is holding his own. I mean, he has emerged his second year as being one of the stars on the team, at least for me. There's at least 3 or 4 plays in a game that I'm sitting there saying, whoa, like this guy is without a doubt a football player. I'm telling you, man, he just shows me a whole lot as far as his IQ and knowledge of the game, right? We could say he's big and blundering because all his muscles and whatnot, but man, he's kind of silky smooth. We go out there and makes plays, man. He makes some really good plays. So he's a star. Willie Gay, athletic ability. Willie has been playing lights out. We know it's a contract year for him. So I think he's focused on doing everything right. And he hasn't disappointed. He hasn't disappointed whatsoever. Willie still, at certain times, he might get caught in certain particular, positions that he either overruns plays, but because of that athletic ability, he makes it up. But when I'm telling you, it looks like, running back or somebody's about to slip out the back, Willie's there to make the play. And he's doing a phenomenal job of it, man. Willie has been a breath of fresh air. He's doing a great job this year. So he's playing stellar football right now. So it's going to be big as far as like what we're going to do this all season, trying to get Willie, because Willie's going to look to get paid, man. And the way he's playing right now, deservingly so. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, it's going to be interesting to see how much he does get paid in the open market, because linebackers have become the running backs of the defense as far as not getting big paydays, and that's been a growing thing. So it's going to be interesting to see how, Brett Veach plays Moneyball this offseason with these negotiations again.
Yeah, it's got a lot of good linebackers there. There's a lot of good linebackers up there. We got a few of them. Thank goodness we got a few of them right here on the Chiefs.
Yep.
But it goes to Drew Tranquil. We got in this offseason one of our higher acquired free agents signings. That was a hell of a move getting him.
Oh yeah.
Okay? Who would have known that Nick Bolton was going to get hurt, and we needed a guy like Leo Chanel to step up.
I know.
And his prowess in the passing game is apparent. It really is. He flows around, reads the quarterback's eyes. You talk about situational awareness. Drew Tranquil has that, but also too, we're talking about just his facial awareness. He does a tremendous job of that. Just know where guys are. So he's been doing a solid job for us. A solid job for us. Now, because I look at the linebackers and I'm watching some of the run game, because he's a smaller guy, he can get caught up in all of that, the wash inside. Okay, guards, tackles just put their arms on him and they swallow him up. So he needs to be a little bit more maybe aggressive in lane assignment, gap assignment, running through guys, just ripping through it as much as he possibly can, maybe to get a call, or at least, man, he's just got to be those things like all the time. I think some of the running game, some of the games that I've seen, he was just out of place in a few of those things, right? Where I would know that Nick Bolton would be there. Drew Tranquil is there, but because he's a smaller guy, he gets grabbed. And he gets swallowed up. But he's solid, man. He's solid. He's better in space. He's better in space than he is taking on big guys in the blocks, right? Being engaged. Okay. That's where he lives. That's where he thrives in. But I mean, he's doing a hell of a job, man. Drew Tranquil, man, is doing a tremendous job. I'm gonna give my linebackers. I'm giving them a B plus. We got a B plus this year. Okay, B plus. Any questions?
Yeah, I have nothing to add on that. I think B plus, yeah, A minus. I mean, it's been, I would say, the linebackers and tight ends probably the most consistent group for us, as far as being there, being able to relied upon, especially with our depth too. Obviously, we don't have to go that deep with our tight ends, just Noah Gray and Kelsey, but linebackers wise, Leo Chanel, Tranquil, Bolton, Gay. I mean, we had to see all these guys play, especially with Bolton's injury, then also Willie Gay always coming out with some nicks and being nicked up a little bit. But yeah, being able to see Drew Tranquil and Leo Chanel step up, specifically Chanel. Chanel's just another guy from that draft class last year who is really flashed for us.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So that takes me to my secondary. Okay. So I'll start with our corners first. I've said this. Watching these guys play, and these are Spags' new toys. Okay. He has a lot of trust in their ability, what they can do, and they do everything that they're asked of them to do. Okay. Snead and McDuffie, to me, are two of the best corner combinations in the league right now, especially Brendan Mann. I just, when I'm looking over the league and I'm watching these other games, when I watch guys challenge, obviously we talk about Sauce Gardner, we can name guys, right? We can name guys. When I'm talking about just an entire team, when I'm talking about that group, Snead, McDuffie, Watson, Williams, when we start naming guys like that, we see like the consistency. Who was that they went after last night? I forgot who it was. Somebody got hurt. It was a corner got hurt, and they immediately went after him. They were nine around. They were nine right on him. It was man. Who did
in the Jets game?
Yeah, the Jets game. Was it the Jets? They brought somebody in. Somebody had got hurt, and they immediately, as soon as that sucker got hurt, his knee was in there. When I'm telling you, I could hear his teeth chattering. Eyes big like saucers. And I think he was like the backup nickel guy.
Oof.
And said Hut, deep route. Right? The quarter wide receiver came out like that already. Like, I'm open. Right on the line of scrimmage. And they knew immediately we're going after him right now. Okay. I have no worries about whatever corner you put in the game with us. Zero.
Yeah.
No worries. Yeah, we got the best group in the business, consistent-wise. I don't think there's anybody better than us. I think I seen a boy Lance was talking about Colin Cowherd said that Chiefs don't have corners and when I was like, come on, man, it's ridiculous, silly talk. But Snead, of course, hey, when you need to hold, he'll hold. But sometimes some of the plays you just need to get rid of some of the penalties. We don't need a Snead. You just need to know when it's in the game. Some things you just don't need to do. Yeah. McDuffie, man, has been. I mean, he's been. When I'm telling you, just blanketed guys in a hip pocket. I mean, he's wearing guys like these T-shirts. That's how much he's on them. I mean, he really is. He's as close to them as they number on their back, on their jersey. And I'm telling you. He is shown to be one of the better corners in the league. He's one up there without a doubt, one of the best right now, what I'm seeing. Okay. Those guys have been absolutely phenomenal. But our corners, I put them up against anybody. And I said this, we said this, Marcus. I said, you watch how the season ends, these guys are going to be some of the best corners in the business, young corners in the business by next year. Yep. Here it is. We've shown it to be true. They're showing it to be true. And Spags trust, he puts a lot of trust in these guys because he knows get the job done. So I love it about him. Our corners are playing lights out. Then we go to Reed, Edwards, Cook. Those guys. The one game that Reed came in he was just playing like a madman. Coming down smacking running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. I mean, he was all over the field. Can't remember what game that was. I need to go back and look at it, but he was all over the place. And I'm just like, this is the one we need to see Justin replay all the time. But he's been solid, calling out the defense, getting guys in the right position. And so some of the things that he might not have been a strong suit in, he's gotten a lot better in. He's gotten a lot better. So I love Reed Cook stepping out, getting the touchdown last week against the Miami Dolphins, and Mike Edwards coming down with his veteran presence, playing the game. Man, he's doing a good job. My thing is this: if our guys keep playing like this, our offense, they can be playing the way they're playing, and we can still win the game. That's how it's going to work. So they talk about defense and win championships. Guess what? We got a great defense on our hands, folks. We got a great defense on our hands. But I had no questions what our guys do. Their violence and what they're playing with in the game, the confidence that they're playing with, shows it all. It shows out there on the football field. So I just think, man, the thing that we're doing is just it looks great. Spags got all his pieces where they need to be, and we're getting Nick Bolton back. I didn't talk about him in the linebacker group, but we're getting our general back sometime soon. Okay, and we get him back, man. We're gonna be at full capacity where we need to be defensively, and so we're going to be ready. We can go against any offense. I don't care who you put out there on the field. This is going to be a great week. Get good matchup against us this week. The Eagles. It's going to be a good matchup. So I can't wait to see it. My old team from a long way back. I think we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine throughout the entire year. I really do.
Yeah.
So I look at just offenses. We're going to get some of the best offense, some of the best wide receivers, and we've done it all. We have. We've done it all, man. We met the challenge. So where we are. So yeah, special teams. You know how to get there with the special teams. You know how to get there. These guys, special teams. Okay. Now, I've been hard on our guys on special teams, and rightfully so. But we need to get this rolling second half. It's been an absolute failure in our return game. McCole Hardman deserves better than what he's been getting. Buckner and Townsend have been doing a good job, a great job, actually. They're the stars of special teams. We know that. They're going to get a good grade because of, their phenomenal play. But everything else around us has been subpar. Okay? Our return guy, McCole Hardman. I know told you to field punts within the 10, and I get that. If it's, obviously we don't want to have the ball roll into the 5 or the 2. Sometimes you just got to do that. But make sure that you have a clearance before you decide to try to make a play. Okay? And look, you know how to handle that. I ain't gonna tell you how to run it. You know how to do those things. Okay? But this message to the guys that's blocking for you. And I'm going to be completely honest about this. If something doesn't change with these guys that's blocking for you, some of these guys need to be fired. I'm serious. Some of these guys need to be replaced. So I hate it for you that these guys are not putting enough effort in or feel like it's important enough for them to get you some return chances and opportunities. So, I don't know what it is you need to do. I don't know how deep you need to put your foot up somebody's tail to get these things done. But somebody better feel it. Somebody better feel it. And if they don't, we put it all on you to get these guys right. You don't have Devin Hester back there. Doesn't matter. You got McCole Hardman who hit his head on the goalpost. You need to emphasize for everybody else around him need to be doing their job. Everybody there needs to be doing their job. So, special teams, I'm going to give those guys a C+. And that's the balance of Townsend and Buckner getting what they do. But everybody else need to step their game up. It's been horrendous. Watching the return game is just unacceptable. It is absolutely unacceptable. This needs to be an imperative point of what we do team-wise, because you help your offense getting field position, and it hurts. If we had to go 95 yards or 85 yards each and every time, come on, man. Why put that type of pressure on Patrick Mahomes in the offense? Need more out of you, special teams. Need more out of you. I ain't really got a whole lot for you because we need more out of you. All right? That's how I feel about it. So I got this game a C+. But like I said, man, some of these guys, if you walking around the building and you're okay with where you are, and I did a good job and I'm okay, then somebody needs to get replaced. Somebody need to get replaced. Guys are covering the gunners and all that. You too. I don't care. I don't care if you're a starter. I don't care who you are. But that's just where it is, Marcus. So.
Yeah, thankfully for Townsend and Butker to raise the grade there on that group project. Thankfully they had Butker and Townsend on that group project.
Hey man, would have been pretty. Yeah. But that's my assessment. I think offensively we just need to get better. Obviously, short yardage, red zone. Coaches do a better job of operating guys, getting the rotation better. Wide receiver group, we need to get more looks for the running backs to run the football. We need to do a much better job of play action, and we need to do a much better job of just having a tempo, calling a game. Nagy, talking to you, much better job of this. Okay? Much better job of this. But I'm looking for the second half, our third down and short yardage needs much better in our red zone. Okay. Defensively, Spags, keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing a good job calling the game. You just let your horses run. Let them continue to run. Keep getting creative in what you're doing. Okay. I love every bit of it. The number of guys having the sacks tells it all. It really does. Because it means offenses don't have you figured out. Okay? They don't have you figured out, man. So you keep doing that, bringing the creativity, Spags, man. Love you. Keep doing the same thing, man. Doing a hell of a job. So, hey, buddy. Need you. We need you. Need to do something, okay? You can't sit back and watch, butt kicker, Buckner, kick all the field goals, and you sit back like, yeah, we good on special teams. We okay. And Townsend go ahead and kick the air out of the ball. And then we ain't getting nothing in the return game. No, it's not it. That is not it. So, get on them and get yourself together. Andy, doing a good job, man. Keep it going. I know you got to keep the naysayers and all that. You're doing a good job, Andy. You know you always do a good job anyway. You got to get to going with like the rhythm on offense, okay? Your brilliance coming out, all right? Let it shine a little bit more. Need to see that. All right? But this is where we are, man. 7-2. I'm looking at us for the season. I think I had us, 13-4 is where I was at the season. Yep. I still have us projected at that. I really do. Shit, I think we might be even better than that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You play football the way that we're playing, I definitely could see us better than the 13-4 I projected. Okay. Better than that.
Because you can make the argument we should be 8-1 at the bye week right now. Because the Detroit game was a toss-up. the Denver game, we got our asses handed to us. But I mean, we should at least be 8-1 right now. But 7-2, number one in the AFC. And yeah, you might be right. You might be dead on with the 13-4. But I mean, I don't know. I can see us even getting better, like a fine wine to end the season here, and not losing a game second half. But
yeah, look, it's gonna be tough matchups. But I every team that's on we could beat.
Yeah,
there's no one we fear. There's nobody in the league that we fear, and we shouldn't. There's nobody like, oh man, it's gonna be Eagles is gonna be the tough game. I see, right? This week coming back from the bye week, Monday Night Football, the Eagles. We looking at the of course the Super Bowl, repeater. But I heard Jason Kelsey said it means nothing. It doesn't, except for win. That's what you're here for. So a lot of it is just to get a look for who you're going to be beating in the Super Bowl, because I do believe it's going to be the Eagles and the Chiefs again. I do.
I remember when the pregame show, our preseason show, we did that. You had Philly, I had Niners in the Super Bowl with KC. So yeah, I do have a feeling it's going to be one of those two teams with Kansas City. I just don't see another team in the NFC outside of those two.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you can make the argument Dallas, but Dallas has lost to both those teams so far. So
yeah, Dallas just, hey man, it's like it's a hit or miss.
Yeah,
man.
They beat the hell out of those bad teams though. All the teams below 500, they beat the crap out of them.
Oh yeah, poor Giants.
I know. Poor Tyrod, man. Tyrod was actually looking good until he got hurt.
Yeah. That's what happens when you hang your hat on Daniel Jones. So
I know.
Pay him a whole load of money.
Yeah.
What you get?
Yeah. No room left for anybody else on a team to eat.
Well,
so that does it for our mid-season grade show, our Monday morning tight end show. So JD and I will be back midweek for our episode. We're gonna have to figure out if it's gonna be Wednesday or Thursday, because someone on the show has a big time birthday this week on the usual day we do our recording. So we may have to push it back another day.
Oh man,
do you know what I'm talking about, JD?
Yeah, I think I do.
A big one, a big time birthday.
Oh yeah.
Milestone, baby, big time milestone.
We loving it. So it's gonna be a beautiful day, man.
Yes,
beautiful.
Sir.
Yeah.
So we'll end up. I don't know what JD has planned on his birthday this week, but we'll end up doing a either an episode on his birthday, but probably not, because he probably has stuff going on with his family. But we'll probably do it like we did last week. We did a Thursday episode, so we'll probably do another Thursday episode live stream, so everyone can be involved with the episode like we did last week. But yeah,
ARG is funny. You don't look sick. Because I'm not.
and he doesn't even look his age. He's about to turn. This guy looks like he's still in his prime playing days.
Oh yeah. My grade for JD grade, C-. I'll take it. That's fair. That's all right. Everybody has their opinion. I appreciate you, Lenny. I do. Come out. I do. So hey, Lenny, I tell you what, I'm gonna get better. Believe that. I'm gonna get better.
Yeah,
right? I play fair.
It's his first. Your first. You're a rookie doing the grade show, JD. This is his first year doing a season grade show.
Well, doing a great show, but it's not my first season doing grades. I mean, as a coach, I grade all the time. And so
that's true. Yeah.
When I look at it, I see things other people don't see. Okay, and so other people may look at wins and certain things, but I'm looking at technique. I'm looking at all these different things, assignment. How good you're actually doing. That's what I'm looking at. I'm gonna make sure. So my grade is gonna be the real grade. Yeah. I'll grade my guys when I'm looking at it. We could win the game, and I played a good game. Okay, but the sky and the eye don't lie.
Mm-mm.
The eye in the sky does not lie.
No.
The sky does not lie. I said it wrong the first time. The eye in the sky doesn't lie. So when I'm looking at the film, okay, that wasn't very good. So, but yeah, good.
But JD understands he's getting better. Each week he does the grades. He's getting better each week.
Yeah. I knew it. Mahomes C grade killed me.
Yeah, I figured that was gonna be the one that dropped you in Lenny's rankings.
I know it. Lenny, PM15 got to get better, as we all do, right?
True.
So
some we're all working on to get better.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. So we'll have a midweek show for you, probably Thursday live stream for you guys because you guys loved it so much last week. And then, of course, Friday, we got our betting show back. And then Sunday, we got our post-game show, which you can find on Bleacher Report. We'll be doing that on Bleacher Report. Actually, no, Monday. We got a Monday night game. So Monday night, we have our post-game show on Bleacher Report. And then Tuesday, we'll be doing our Monday morning tight end show on Tuesday. Probably that episode we'll call the Tuesday morning tight end show. But all right, guys. Well, that does it for us. We'll see you guys on Thursday when we do our midweek show.
All right, fellas.
Take it easy, everybody. Love you, brother.
Yeah, love you too, man. Don't be nervous, ARG. Don't be nervous. You're gonna be fine. Chief, baby.
Go Chiefs, ARG.
All right.
And thanks for everybody for coming in the chat. Susan, love you. Love the comment there.
Love you guys. See y'all later.
All right, take it easy, everybody. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and